Hello, my name is Justin Suter. I'm a freshman at Gull Lake High School, and I'm part of the Computer Science and Software Engineering program here at Gull Lake. Today I'm going to be showing you how to go through a basic day in PC Building Simulator and how to get through it basically. So this is the day before. This is where we're going to accept all of our orders. So right here we have this order. This order is asking us to remove viruses. So with this order, I'm going to skim through this thing, make sure that there's nothing specific that they don't want, and there doesn't seem to be. It'd usually be in this last paragraph. So all we need to do for this one is remove the viruses. Now if we go to this one over here, we have replace CPU, replace hard drive, and complete by in 9 days. So after reading this, it seems that they want green cables, and they only want new parts. So we're just going to have to, what we're going to have to do, we'll accept it, and we'll go over here. We'll check what CPU they have. So they have a Ryzen 5 1600. So we can go right here. Let's search up 1600, and they had this one. So let's add that to our cart. They want us to replace the hard drive as well. So let's look for that. That is right here. Seagate 3 terabytes, 64 megabyte cache. So let's go over to the storage. Let's get a 3 terabyte hard drive right here. It's that one. I have those in our cart, and he also said he wanted plastic green cables. So let's make sure to get those too. I'm not sure if I have them or not. I don't, so I'm gonna make sure to order something. Let's get some sleeved ones. And let's have these all for next day delivery. So those will arrive the next day, as well as this computer. So that's why I did next day delivery. Then this person, hire you available. So they want me to replace the CPU and the graphics card. So they're gonna want, if you're reading through this, they want plastic white cables, and they want us to remove viruses. When they say they click something bad, that means, or like funny pop-ups or anything like that, they want us to remove all their viruses and make sure they don't have viruses. So let's accept that. Let's make sure I accept that. Yeah, let's accept that, and then now let's replace their CPU. So they have the Ryzen 3 1300X. So go to CPU processors, 1300X, add to cart. Then now let's go to graphics card. They have a MSI GeForce GTX 970 4G. Okay, so let's type that in. 970. I'm not in GPUs or graphic cards, but let's type in 970. So they have a 4G. I think they might have gaming 4G. Let's make sure though. Gaming 4G Golden Edition. So we want to make sure that it's better or equal to theirs. So let's make sure to get that one. Plastic white cables, I believe I already have those, but let's just make sure, because you never really want to be wrong. And I do. I've plain plastic white right here and sleeve plastic white. So that means we don't have to worry about that. Now we just have to go on to the next day, since we ordered, or let's make sure we ordered all that. Yeah, almost just went without ordering it. Make sure it's next day delivery, and boom. Let's go to the next day. End day. Okay, boom. So now these PCs have arrived, and we're going to do the easiest first. This person wants us to scan for viruses, and this is the one that didn't have any hidden things that it wants us to do. So we're going to boot that up. We're going to put this USB in it. Boom, add remove programs, virus scanning. And while that's downloading, I am just going to double check that it didn't have anything. So, yeah. Now you just have to restart. We wait for that to restart, and we just kind of sit here. I could have another desk and be working on those ones over here, but that costs a lot of money, so I haven't bought it yet. So let's do virus scan, start scanning. And yeah, see, they have 284 viruses, so that's what they wanted. Clean files, boom. And now we're done with that already. So I'm going to put this over here, separate it from those ones, and I'm going to grab this one next. Put that right here, we're going to plug it in. And they want us to replace the CPU and the hard drive, and I believe they wanted plastic green cables. Now let's make sure. Yeah, plastic green cable, CPU hard drive. So now I'm just gonna unplug everything that I can, that I can see, so I can just put plastic green cables in, which I will do when I'm building it at the end. So let's take this air cooler off too, because we're gonna have to, since we're gonna be replacing the motherboard, or I mean the CPU. And they also want us to replace the hard drive, which is behind here, so we can just remove this. So let's undo that. Let's unplug these. And don't know if I can unplug that. It's not letting me really, but don't think we need to anyway, since that's always going to be that color. Let's put this back on real quick, just because I don't have to deal with it later. Now let's remove the hard drive, and now let's replace it. Oh, I forgot to grab the parts that we need, so they're right here. Go to storage, and that 3 terabyte one right here. And now we're going to want to make sure that we plug a USB in, since we just replaced the hard drive. It's going to be getting a new OS, or operating system too, so we want to make sure that's there. Now let's put in that new CPU, and they had a Ryzen 5, I believe, right? Check Ryzen 5 6-core, yeah. Now let's close that, and then we want to make sure to put our thermal paste on, or else it'll mess up the PC and it won't heat, or it won't cool properly. We're going to put that CPU cooler back on. Now let's start plugging things in. This person wanted plastic green cables, which I have right here. So let's plug everything in. This might take a second, since plugging in just takes a second. Connect the SSD. Well, now that I think about it, we actually won't need to replace the OS, since there's a SSD right there, or a solid state drive. So we really didn't need to put that USB there. If the OS is ran off that SSD, which it probably is and should be. Boom. Now that we're done with that, let's put the panels back on. And while we're doing that, we can boot it to OS. Just to get that part done. Oh, it is installing a new OS. Okay. Guess I was right. Now that that's done, we can put that into the delivery area and get working on the last one. So let's plug it in right there, remove the case. And this person wanted plastic white cables and viruses removed, if I remember correctly. Unless that was the other person, so let's make sure. This is the person with the green cables. This one, new parts. And they want viruses and plastic white cables, so let's turn the computer off. Start unplugging everything. Let's take off the PSI lock. Undo all that. Remove the graphics card. Then let's unplug everything. Make sure everything's unplugged, or that is visible at least. Because we don't need to do all the things down here, but I will just do that just in case. Okay, now let's remove the air cooler. They want the CPU replaced, so they have a Ryzen 3 quad-core 1300X, so that's all we need to look for. CPU processors. This one. Same thing as before, put down the guard, and put on some thermal paste, and we're going to make sure the CPU cooler gets back on there. Now with this graphics card, kind of forgot which one they have, but it was broken, so we can just assume that it was this one, because they're the exact same. Okay, now since with all those plugged in, now we just have to start plugging everything in even more. So we'll do sleeve plastic. So we're just gonna plug everything in again. Doesn't take that long, but it's still just kind of a hassle. Not too bad. And we just make sure you plug it in right. I guess I can't can't really do that, but now we're just gonna plug all that in. Case fans, motherboard, and finally the last case fan. Now we're gonna power it on, make sure it works. Oh, and let's make sure to put this in here because we're gonna have to remove viruses. Let's download Virus Scanner, and it works, so that means we did everything right at least. Didn't mess it up. Let's plug this in, or screw it in. Restart. I just have to wait for that, which shouldn't take too long. Okay, powering back up. Virus Scanner, start scanning, and yeah, they had a lot of viruses, 456 viruses, clean files, and boom, now that computer's done. And now we just have to complete all of this, so all of today's stuff: collect, 5 stars, remove viruses correctly, discard, boom, collect, 5 stars, only use new parts, install plastic green cables. 5 stars is good because it ups our stars up there and we can get better orders. Then, oh, looks like we didn't finish this one correctly, so I might have forgotten something. I probably forgot to plug something in. Incomplete case. Shoot. I forgot something then. I don't know what it is, so now I'm gonna check PC parts. Oh, the PCIe lock, yeah. So I forgot to put the PCIe lock on, and that. And if you want to check stuff that you might have forgotten to put back on, it'll be in here. The PCIe covers, those are just from adding your GPU, so you don't really need to check those. So now we can just add all this back. Boom. And we already know it already boots, so now we can boom, collect on that, collect 5 stars. That's how you go through a day in PC Building Simulator. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you.